हेलो दोस्तों, बिगनर्स पॉइंट में आपका स्वागत है और अभी हम कर रहे हैं करंट अफेयर्स। वर्ल्ड क्लीन अप डे 20 सितंबर। द थीम ऑफ द इनॉग्रल इवेंट टेकिंग प्लेस ऑन 20 सितंबर इन द सिटी ऑफ Tromsø, Norway is at Arctic cities and marine litter. The event convened with support from UN Habitat, Grid, Eridl, and Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund, and in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, the municipality of Tromos, the Farm Center, on 8th December 2023, the United Nations General Assembly in its 78th session unanimously adopted Resolution 78/122 World Cleanup Day, which proclaims 20 September as World Cleanup Day. Municipal solid waste generation is predicted to grow from 2.1 billion tons in 2023 to 3.8 billion tons by 2050. इसके बाद आ जाते हैं सूरजपुर इन छत्तीसगढ़ becomes a model for child marriage addiction. 75 panchayats declared child marriage free. Against the backdrop of the Healthy Women Empowerment Empowered Families campaign and National Nutrition Month, Surajpur district of Chhattisgarh has achieved a historic milestone in the direction of social reform and public awareness. A total of 75 village panchayats in the district have been officially declared child marriage free panchayats. The state government's goal is to establish Chhattisgarh as a child marriage free state in the coming years. For this, monitoring mechanism will be further strengthened, education will be promoted, and active community participation will remain the foundation of the campaign. This announcement was made by the Surajpur District Administration on 17 September 2025 during the launch of the campaign and the beginning of Nutrition Month. The recognition was granted on the basis that not a single case of child marriage was recorded in these panchayats over the past 2 years. HCL and OIL sign MOU for collaboration in exploration and development of critical and strategic minerals. In a significant step towards strengthening India's self-reliance in critical and strategic mineral sourcing, Oil India Limited and Hindustan Copper Limited (HCL) have signed a memorandum of understanding (MOU) on September 19, 2025 to cooperate and collaborate for exploration and development of critical and strategic minerals including copper and associated minerals. Hindustan Copper Limited, a Miniratna PSU under the Ministry of Mines, is engaged in mining, production, processing, and marketing of copper and related products. The company is currently focused on mining and beneficiation beneficiation of copper ore and the sale of copper con- concentrate. Oil India, a Maharatna PSU under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, is premier integrated oil and gas company with proven expertise in exploration, development, production, and transportation of crude oil and natural gas. Recognizing the growing importance of crucial minerals, OIL has diversified into this sector to complement its core energy portfolio. The collaboration between HCL and OIL represents a crucial milestone in India's pursuit of mineral security, aligned with the objectives of the Government of India's National Critical Mineral Mission. This partnership will play a pivotal role in securing strategic mineral resources essential for the nation's energy security, industrial growth, and technological advancement. Fast patrol vessel ICGS Admya commissioned into ICG at Paradip Port. ठीक है। तो फिर ये फास्ट पेट्रोल वेसल ICGS है। इंडिया कोस्ट गार्ड शिप, ICGS, इंडियन कोस्ट गार्ड शिप Admira, the first ship of the eight in series Admira class first class fast patrol vessels, was commissioned at Paradip Port, Odisha on September 19, 2025. The 51-meter FPV has been designed and built indigenously by Goa Shipyard Limited and is benefiting example of Atmanirbhar Bharat with over 60% indigenous content leading to strengthening of India's maritime. ICGS Padmaya was commissioned by Joint Secretary AF and Policy Ministry of Defence Shri Satyajit Mohanty in the presence of Chief of Staff Headquarters Eastern Seaboard Inspector General Yogindra Dhaka and other senior dignitaries of the central and state government. The vessel displaces approx 320 tons and is propelled by two 3000 kilowatt diesel engines to attain a maximum speed of 28 knots along with an endurance of 1500 nanometer at economical speed. ICGS Admea is first ship fitted with indigenously developed two controllable pitch propellers and gearboxes offering superior maneuverability, operational flexibility, and enhanced performance at sea. India re-elected to UPU's Council of Administration and the Postal Operations Council at 28th Universal Postal Congress. India has been re-elected to the Council of Administration (CA) and the Postal Operations Council (POC) of the Universal Postal Union (UPU) during the 28th UPU Congress held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The Universal Postal Union, a specialized agency of the United Nations, is the primary forum for cooperation among postal sector stakeholders. The CA is responsible for policy, regulatory, and governance matters, while the POC is the technical and operational body that drives the modernization of postal service worldwide. India's re-election reflects the confidence of the international community in India Post leadership, reforms, and innovative digital initiatives. India has been a member of the UPU since 1876. Third round of India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement negotiation concludes in Queenstown. The third round of negotiations for the India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement (FTA) concluded successfully on 19 September 2025 in Queenstown, New Zealand. The discussions reaffirmed the shared commitment of both nations to strengthen economic ties and work towards the nearly conclusion of a balanced and mutually beneficial agreement. The FTA was formally launched on 16 March 2025 during the meeting between Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Shri Piyush Goyal and New Zealand's Minister for Trade and Investment Mr. Todd McClay. The third round, held from 15 to 19 September 2025, witnessed constructive discussions across all areas of the agreement. India's bilateral merchandise trade with New Zealand stood at USD 1.3 billion in fiscal year 2024-25, registering a growth of nearly 49% over the previous year. The next round of in-person negotiations is scheduled to be held in New Delhi on 13-14 October 2025. Mariam Fatima becomes Bihar's first woman FIDE master. Mariam Fatima from Bihar has achieved a remarkable milestone by becoming the state's first woman FIDE master. WFM, a brilliant chess player from Bihar, Mariam belongs to Muzaffarpur. The title Woman FIDE Master WFM is one of the titles awarded by FID, the Global Chess Federation. FIDE क्या है? ग्लोबल चेस फेडरेशन है. It is below Women International Master WIM and our Women Candidate Master WCM. It is the third highest ranking exclusive to women after the Women Grandmaster and the Women International Master titles. Like other official fight titles, once a player is awarded the WFM title, it is held for life. The WFM title is only attainable by women players. They can obtain it by achieving a fight classical rating of at least 22,100. V. Mohan has been presented with the inaugural diabetes अबे यार ये कौन है वी मोहन इन्होंने क्या करा है डायबिटीज ग्लोबल इम्पैक्ट प्राइज 2025 वी मोहन diabetologist and chairman of Dr. Mohan Diabetes Specialist Center and Madras Diabetes Research Foundation, has been presented with the inaugural Diabetes Global Impact Prize 2025 by the European Association for the Study of Diabetes during its 61st annual conference at Vienna in Austria. He is the first recipient of this prestigious award, which recognized his decades-long contributions to diabetes healthcare research and education, training, charity awareness, and policy. He has published over 18,000 papers, trained thousands of professionals, and conducted over 25,000 free diabetes camps. More than 75% of rural monthly expenditure will face nil or 5% rate under GST 2.0 FICCI. The more than 75% of the items rural Indians spend money on will face either a nil rate of goods and service tax (GST) or 5% once the new rates come into effect on September 22, according to an analysis published by the Federation of India Chambers of Commerce and Industry (FICCI). For urban Indians, this proportion will be 66%. The report prepared by Thought Arbitrage Research Institute (TARI) for the FICCI Committee Against Smuggling and Counterfeiting Activities Destroying the Economy (CASCAD) noted that this situation was a significant improvement over the current GST rate structure. About 56% of rural household monthly expenditure currently attracts either nil GST or 5% rate. Under GST 2.0, the nil slab will comprise to 29.9% of the total items. The items in this slab will account for 36.5% and 32.9% of rural and urban monthly expenditure, respectively. About 14.7% of the total items face a 5% GST rate and account for 20.3% and 18.2% of rural and urban monthly expenditure. From September 22 onwards, the 5% slab will comprise 40.5% of the items. The 18% slab currently accounts 26.6% of the items under GST and 15.4% and 16.9% of rural and urban monthly expenditure. Under GST 2.0, this slab will comprise to 23.1% of the items and 12.3% and 14.1% of rural and monthly expenditure. The 12% slab currently accounts for 21.5% of the items and 14.4% and 10.8% of rural and urban monthly expenditure. ISRO inks pact with HAL for transfer of small satellite launch vehicle technology. ISRO signed a formal agreement with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited (HAL) on Wednesday, September 10, 2025 for the transfer of technology for the production of small satellite launch vehicles (SSLV), marking a significant step in industry participation in the space sector. The agreement, the 100th transfer of technology agreement facilitated by space sector promoter in space, was inked in Bangalore by the Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO), New Space India Limited (NSIL), in space with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited (HAL), which outbid a consortium led by Adani Group backed Alpha Design Technologies. ISRO, HAL, and SIL and InSpace coming together for the SSLV technology transfer signals a vital leap towards this endeavor. It reflects the Government of India's vision to empower the space industry and establish India as a global hub for affordable and reliable launch services. RBI grants PhonePe final approval to operate as payment aggregator. Fintech major PhonePe has received final approval from the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) to operate as an online payment aggregator. The approval comes more than 2 years after the Bangalore-based company first secured in-principle clearance from the banking regulator. Other companies that have received the license this year include Pine Labs Online, EasyBus, BharatPe, PayU, among others. PhonePe has over 650 million registered users and a digital payments acceptance network spanning 45 million merchants. The company processes more than 360 million transactions daily with an annualized total payment value of over 150 trillion. OpenAI partners with Apple supplier Luxshare to build AI hardware device. OpenAI has signed a deal with Apple device assembler Luxshare to make a consumer device to the information reported on Friday. Citing people familiar with the matter, the device is currently a prototype under development and is expected to be pocket-sized and aware of context, designed to work closely with the ChatGPT parents' artificial intelligence models. OpenAI bought hardware startups IO Products, founded by former Apple designer Johnny Ive earlier this year in a $6.5 billion deal, underscoring its push to move beyond software into consumer hardware. Luxshare, a major assembler of Apple's iPhones and AirPods, would bring large-scale manufacturing capabilities to OpenAI's effort. R&I Japan upgrades India's credit rating to BBB+ with stable outlook. The Japanese credit rating agency Rating and Investment Information (R&I) on Friday upgraded India's sovereign credit rating by a notch to BBB+ from BBB, with a stable outlook backed by the country's demographic dividend, robust domestic demand, and sound government policies. This is India's third rating upgrade by a sovereign credit rating agency this year, following S&P upgrade to BBB from BBB minus in August 2025 and Morningstar (DBRS) upgrade to BBB from BBB low in May 2025. The government has set a target of achieving a fiscal deficit at 4.4% of GDP in fiscal year 26. R&I in its report has projected the Indian economy to maintain GDP growth rate in the mid 6% range fiscal year 26 onwards, backed by the population growth, the catch-up effect of income, and the government's public investment and economic policy, among other factors. Indian Navy signs 66 crore rupees deal with Coretia Technologies to deploy indigenous underwater robotics. Coretia Technologies, an Odisha-based startup, has signed a contract worth 66 crore, approx $7.5 million with the Indian Navy. The deep tech robotics startup will supply and maintain its indigenously developed underwater remotely operated vehicles. UWROV stated that the company in press release. The agreement, signed in the presence of high-ranking Indian Navy officials, represents the first large-scale induction of India-built UWROV into active naval operations. Courtier Technologies developed underwater robots Jarasima and Jaladutta, as well as Navya ASV, enabling sonar-based mapping and real-time data analytics powered by AI and ML, serving a dual use. ये समस्या आ रही है. Dual-use purpose. Courtier Technologies recently also raised 17.4 crore, approx $2 million in pre-series A round led by MGF Kavach, supported by Pontoc Ventures India in July 2025, with plans to scale up R&D initiatives, IPR, and grow its exports to tap rising global demand. The underwater robotics market stands at $5.08 billion in 2025, forecasted to reach $9.53 billion by 2030. IBM partners with BharatGen to boost AI adaptation. Global Tech gained IBM on Thursday announced a tie-up with BharatGen to advance the adaptation of artificial intelligence. BharatGen and IIT Bombay consortium will be using its sovereign multimodal and large language model (LLM) tailored to India's linguistic and cultural landscape, along with IBM AI expertise in data governance and model training technologies. As part of the collaboration, BharatGen and IBM will work to develop solution templates for Indic use cases by leveraging BharatGen's models and data with IBM's AI technologies, including IBM Granite models. The initiative focuses on developing and scaling multimodal and language specific AI models and expanding their applications across sectors. Only a third of world rivers had water within normal range 2024 WMO. Just around a third of rivers across the globe had water within the normal range 2024 and almost 60% of them either showed too much or too little water for the sixth year running according to the status of global water resource in 2024 report from the World Meteorological Organization WMO. The report contains input from a wide network of hydrological experts, including National Meteorological and Hydrological Services, global data centers, global hydrological modeling community members. Lake surface temperatures were enormously high in 2024, and nearly all, about 75 main lakes across the globe, saw above average water levels. It cited a UN assessment saying an estimated 3.6 billion face inadequate access to water for at least a month per year, and this is expected to increase to more than 5 million by 2050. Reason-wise, the report found that in 2024, it was better than normal in Kazakhstan, southern Russia, Pakistan, northern India, southern Iran, and northeastern China. India-Norway maritime security disarmament and non-proliferation dialogue Oslo. The inaugural India-Norway Maritime Security Disarmament and Non-Proliferation Dialogue was held on September 11, 2025 in Oslo, Norway. The India delegation was held by Ms. Moa Pui Siavai, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, and Norwegian delegation Mr. John Elvedal Fredriksson, Director General, Department for Security Policy and the High North. The two sides conferred on ways to sustain a secure and safe maritime environment in accordance with international law, including UNCLOS conducive to economic growth, peace, and progress in maritime matters. It was agreed to hold the next round of the dialogue in New Delhi on a mutually convenient date. PFRDA to introduce multiple scheme framework for NPS from October 1. The Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority PFRDA announced the introduction of a multiple scheme framework MSF for non-government sector subscribers under the National Pension System NPS effective from October 1, 2025. According to the official PFRDA notification, the new system marks a significant departure from the existing structure where subscribers were restricted to a single investment choice per tier and linked to one central record-keeping agency (CRA). Arjuna asteroid 2025 PN7 is Earth's latest quasi-satellite. Astrono- Astronomers have announced that they have discovered a new neighbor in the Earth's skies. Asteroid 2025 PN7 confirmed in September 2025 to be the planet's latest quasi-satellite. The prefix quasi means almost 2025 PN7 follows an orbit very similar to the Earth of the Earth, making it appear to hover nearby even though it's not gravitationally bound to the planet. First spotted on August 2 by the Pan-STARRS-1 telescope in Hawaii 2025, PN7 is a member of the Arjuna asteroid class named for the protagonist of the Mahabharata, who is believed to be fast-moving and difficult to catch. RBI sets up independent advisory group for industry feedback on regulation. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) on September 17 formed an independent advisory group on regulation (AGR) comprising of external experts to channel industry feedback into the periodic review of regulations through the regulatory review cell. The RBI has decided to strengthen the institutional mechanism for review of regulations and has constituted a regulatory review cell (RRC) in continuation of the framework for formulation of regulations. The mandate of the RRC is to ensure that all regulations issued by the bank are subject to a comprehensive and systematic internal review every 5 to 7 years. Bima Sugam portal launched, single digital marketplace for all kinds of insurance. Ajay Seth, Chairman of the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India (IRDAI), on September 17 launched the official website of Bima Sugam India Federation (BISF). The launch took place at the headquarters of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India (IRDAI) in Hyderabad. AU Small Finance Bank partners with Kiwi for credit on UPI. Launch AU Cosmo Credit Card. Cosmo Credit Card. AU Small Finance Bank (AUSFB), India's largest small finance bank, has entered into a strategic partnership with Kiwi, a leading credit on UPI platform, to introduce the AU Cosmo Credit Card. Built on the RuPay network, this card offers a fully digitally onboarding journey, seamless UPI integration, and best-in-class rewards on UPI transactions. In August 2025, UPI P2M payments saw a 26% year-on-year growth, crossing 7.2 lakh process in value. RuPay's credit card market share has also grown significantly, rising from 3% in fiscal year 23 to nearly 12% in fiscal year 25, with around 28% of all credit card transactions now powered by RuPay. The GII unveils the world's innovation leaders and measures the performance of 139 economies. Switzerland remains the world's innovation leader in 2025. China enters the top 10 for the first time, while middle-income economies India, Turkey, Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, Morocco, Albania, Iran are the fastest climbers since 2013. Sweden and the United States of America retain their second and third position for their third year in a row. India strengthens its lead in Central and Southern Asia, rising to 38th place. It performs exceptionally well in areas such as ICT services exports, first late-stage VC deals, fourth intangible asset intensity, eighth the unicorn valuation, 11th, reflecting its growing innovation-driven economy। और इसी के साथ करंट अफेयर्स आपकी हो जाती है समाप्त।